Oil prices turns the market's focus toward alternative energy. Invesco's Tan Solar ETF up more than 9% today, led by gains in First Solar, Sunrun, Enphase Energy, and others. For more, we're joined by James West, Senior Managing Director at Evercore ISI, covering clean energy and the oil and gas complex. James, great to have you with us. Let's say for whatever reason, ceasefire reasons, whatever, you name it, oil goes down to $90 a barrel. What happens to this solar enthusiasm? Does it just disappear as well?
I don't think so. I think energy security is now top of mind. And so the transition to more renewables, particularly in Europe, but also in the U.S., I think is going to continue full steam ahead. I don't think this is going to change anything if oil goes back down. Right now, it is having some impact. It's making energy security top of mind rather than kind of climate crisis.
Can it really be viewed as energy security in terms of the transition? Because what we've seen for the past decade or so, since in the 2010s in particular, alternative energy has really come down in price. But recently, the prices have actually gone up a little bit because of various supply chain issues, getting parts, because of tariffs, et cetera. And I'm wondering what your take is on whether or not we could truly be energy independent by using some of these sources when we've seen that globalization has caused snarls in this.
Well, certainly energy independence is probably not something that's going to happen here. We're going to need to use everything, including oil and gas. But I think the move to renewables will be accelerated by the move towards energy storage. So energy storage is taking away the intermittency issues that you find with wind and solar. And while costs have gone back up, costs for natural gas and costs for oil have gone up much more significantly.
So in terms of the U.S. benefiting here, James, I mean, there's probably different cross currents, not just energy independence, but also just a general push towards greener forms of energy. Which names do you like, and are there others who are better poised overseas for Europe's push towards alternatives?
I think the U.S. names Enphase has a great European business that they're building out and growing. I think Sunrun, which is more U.S. focused, but again, energy security top of mind for Americans as well. And then I think the one that kind of pulls it all together with the storage is Fluence Energy.
Hey, it's Karen. Thanks for being on. Where do you think nuclear fits in? And if you think there's a place for it, how would you play that?
There's absolutely a place for nuclear in the energy future, and it should be part of the energy future. So I think the people that have campaigned against nuclear for some 50 years are somewhat wrong-headed. I think that nuclear, you probably play it through uranium right now, but there will be nuclear energy companies, some of these smaller nuclear energy companies going public in future years, which will be investments. But right now, it's probably through uranium.
James, great to get your thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
James West, Evercore ISI. Tim, where do you were once upon a time in solar names.
Yeah,
now you're a big uranium guy.
Yeah, look, I think nuclear is the trade, and I think this is a combination of, I mean, look at Germany's energy policy, and we talked about how they need to actually extend the life, and they will be extending the life of these reactors they're about to close down. I think you've got a case where a lot of the mining dynamics are really accelerating. I think a lot of the storage and the facilitation are things that are very interesting. Look, solar is, it's a fascinating area. Part of the problem has been the cost and the margin, and companies that have had too long of a cycle in terms of both production and some of the demand side. But look, I think if you look at the energy space and nat gas and LNG, which the U.S. has a lot to export, there are a number of companies, even a Cheniere, that I think still have a ways to go here.
Yeah, Guy?
Enphase, he mentioned that. It's a $282 stock around Thanksgiving, got more than cut in half and has bounced. So I think that's a name you can look at. That's the largest holding in the TAN ETF at about 11%. But if you're trying to pull out individual names, I think that one looks the most interesting.
And here's the good news. Elon Musk agrees with all of you. He tweeted it the other day that Europe needs to restart dormant nuclear reactors and increase the output. And he said, hopefully it's obvious to all of us. It is obvious to the fast money crew here, I guess.